You must pull the punch back. Put it in.
In April, exposure will reach saturation point with the release of the first feature film about the Krays.
Okay, punch.
How much did they make up out of it?
They were given 80,000 for the story, to be able to use the story, and that's gone to charity that we've been involved with. They get a lot of letters, obviously, for charity. This is an example. This is about a month's worth, all of that lot.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Right, here's a letter from Wolverhampton. This is somebody they've given money to, is it?
Yeah, that's from...
James.
Yes, that's right. That's James Fallon. That's about the computer that we gave him.
Who is James Fallon?
James Fallon is a South African boy who was knocked over by a hit-and-run driver. And because he's in South Africa, there were no charities in this country really could get involved. But the twins saw the photographs of the boy and decided to get involved with him.
What do you say to the accusation that what you and the Kray twins are doing is making money out of their many extremely evil deeds?
We don't use the past. Somebody would do this business anyway. There are always people who want to make money out of crime. What we're doing is we're taking that money and we're doing good with it. We're doing good in as much as that we give it to charity, and that it also keeps the Kray name alive for the good of what they're doing now, not for what they've done in the past.
Just as in their heyday, the Krays have glamour, they're making money, and they're giving generously to charity. But there's another, less attractive side to the Kray legend that still survives. It's that some people around here are still terrified of the twins. One of those closely involved with the Krays in the 60s was a man called Billy Webb. 20 years later, Billy Webb visited Ronnie Kray in Broadmoor and punched him in the face. The press reported the incident as a culmination of a gangland vendetta, but Billy Webb saw it, quite simply, as a revenge attack. He claimed his brother, who had died recently, never fully recovered from a fight he'd had with the Krays. We went to see Billy Webb, and our researcher asked him what had actually happened between him and the Krays 20 years ago.
We'd like to ask you what you think of the Kray twins. What I think? Well, how do you feel about the Kray twins, given the fact that they've had some influence in your past?
How do I feel? I'm not with you. How do I feel?
Well, what's your opinion of the Kray twins?
I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved.
Is there any reason why you don't want to get involved?
I prefer not to get involved.
Is there any reason why you would prefer to keep out of it?
Well, just let sleeping dogs lie. All right?
Could I ask you, how do you feel about the prospect of the Krays release?
It's not in my hands, is it? It's in the judge's hands. It's 30 years.
Can you tell us a bit about when you first met the Krays?
No, I don't want to go into nothing.
Do you fear the Krays coming out?
Do I?
Do you fear the Krays coming out?
No, not personally, no. I don't want to make no waves, can't you understand?
In the course of making this program, we approached several witnesses to the Krays' grip on East London, but many of them refused to talk. I want to forget the past. I don't want to think about the Krays. I want £10,000 to talk to you, and then I'll leave the country. I don't want my house burnt down. People around here don't know I was involved with the Krays. I prefer to keep it that way. One ex-gangland member who refused to appear on the program wrote this letter.
Whilst the Krays are inside, people like me who have crossed swords with them are reasonably safe. But in the event of Reg Kray's release, people like me will be killed and disappear.
You could say that the fact that the Krays are still somehow in the public eye might give some people an idea that they are emerging somehow unscathed from their imprisonment, that they're about to take up where they left off. But I think the Krays have moved wholly into the area of entertainment. They're now out of the area of crime. And I think it is really that any fear that people have at the moment is based upon just seeing their face everywhere in the papers and somehow assuming that the ubiquity of their image indicates some capacity on their part to be able to behave in the way in which they did in the past towards their enemies.
The Krays now claim that they've turned their backs on the past. They won't be coming back down here to claim their old manor. They say they've served 22 years in prison and now all they want is a quiet life. Later on this year, their supporters will be launching an all-out campaign for an early release. But will the public image they've so carefully created work against them?
It will take a brave government to release them, there's no doubt about that. But then, after 22 years, and the fact that they've done as much good as they have, and the fact that they've been model role prisoners, they've never been in trouble whilst they've been in prison, I think it only highlights the case. I don't think they're going to do it unless we highlight the case. We've got to keep pushing, and we've got to keep them in the public eye.
Kray says that Ronnie, a paranoid schizophrenic, is now fully rehabilitated. He's a sick man though, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's all controlled by drugs. He's got an illness, but as long as he takes his drugs and his medicine, he's fine. And the public don't know the sort of things they do in prison, and Ronnie in Broadmoor. They like youngsters that got into trouble with something silly and they've got a prison sentence. You know, they think, oh, it's Reggie Kray or Ronnie Kray, and they respect them, they look up to them. And one would say to them, you know, you don't do it, look what happened to me, don't be silly. And they spin people around in prison. So society could sort of gain so much back from them, instead of just leaving them to rot in prison.
Reggie's actually quite a sensitive guy, you know. He's not the big, fearsome hood that he's made out to be. He's quite a big softie, really. Well, he is where I'm concerned, and people that are close to him. And, you know, you've only got to sort of see the charity work he does and things he gets involved. He's adopted this young kid called James Fallon out in South Africa.
I think it was seen as just 20 years ago. It was a clear attempt to stop gangland crime and was meant to be an exemplary sentence. I think today it wouldn't be seen in the same light at all. We have many more serious cases of murder, people like Nielsen, Sutcliffe, the IRA bombings, and the kind of communal garden crime, which is in fact what the Krays was, is treated much less severely in terms of the minimum periods that people serve. So he would probably have got something like 20 years today, if he'd got a recommendation at all.
Although Dennis Nielsen, who killed 15 men, got 25 years and some IRA bombers get even less, Ashman doubts the Home Office will reduce the Krays sentences.
It's very unusual for anyone to be let out under the minimum period. Only 7 cases in the last 25 years since the sentence has been introduced, the mandatory life sentence. And so he'll serve all of that.
This puts the Krays in a difficult dilemma.
Well, they obviously want to ensure that their name is kept before the public and the minister, and that they're not left to rot in prison, which is a real danger in their situation. But the problem is, the more they appear in films and books and on television, the harder it is for the minister to release them, because he's faced with the dilemma of the Law and Order Brigade saying that he is soft on crime and that criminals are profiting from their crimes.
Do you think it is wise to give the Krays such a high profile?
It's the only way we can really do it. Basically, we will carry on with the campaign until we've got 50,000 signatures. Once we've got the 50,000, we will serve those on Downing Street, and hopefully that will be in time for the parole board hearing for Reg, which is coming up shortly. And we hope that it will make the government aware of the fact that there are a lot of people who would like to see them released.
They might be putting an early review at risk, but it's unlikely the twins and their firm will give up the operation that has turned murderers into legends.
I suppose you could say, when you look back upon all the ways in which the Krays attempted to bring themselves to public attention, all the famous people they got themselves photographed with towards the end of their career, I suppose you could say that really, now that they are the subject of a major feature film, now they've got their own phone line, they have got what they've always wanted. They are, in fact, popular heroes.